Welcome to the first video Scribe for Understanding the Basics, Health 101. As we begin today, I want you to think about the very basic question of what is health? What are the components of health? Is it simply about exercising and eating right? Are there other things that we need to take into account? If we're going to live a truly healthy life, what things do we need to think about? Those are the things that we're going to be discussing in the course this year. Now, as we continue today, I want you to think about what factors influence health. And to help you start to think about that, I want to tell you a quick story. It's about a colleague of mine here at Hockaday. She is someone you know. She and a few friends made a commitment after they graduated from college to live for 1 year below the level of poverty. So they pooled their money and rented an apartment in New York City. Now, as you might imagine, on the poverty level or below the level of poverty income, the apartment they could afford was not in Central Park. It was actually, in fact, in a very industrial part of town. There was a lot of air pollution. It was not a very safe neighborhood. It was also in a bit of a food desert, meaning access to quality grocery stores, fresh produce, etc. was very, very limited. And there were a couple of negative health outcomes that arose from this situation. My friend has asthma. She found herself unable to exercise outside because the air pollution was so high. Additionally, even if she could have overcome her asthma, the neighborhood was so unsafe that it would still not have been safe for her to exercise outside. And lastly, because her funds were so limited, she did not have access to a rec center or a fitness facility where she could go and exercise. So she found herself unable to exercise for that year. Because they lived in the food desert, their access to quality food was limited. She said they ate lots of beans and lentils, which those are great foods, but you might imagine if that's what you're having for every meal, that would get pretty old. She said at times they would just crave meat, so they would use their whole day's food allotment to go buy fast food, get a hamburger or something that would just fill them up, make them feel full, make them feel satisfied for a while. So, as you might imagine, that was problematic as well. So my friend finished this year with a decreased fitness level, some upper respiratory problems, and having gained 20 pounds. Now, as I've been speaking to you, pictures have been appearing on your screen. Some of these factors are what we call determinants of health. And determinants of health are the array of critical influences that impact people's health. So you might be able to guess some of them based on the pictures that are appearing. The ability to exercise, what kind of food you have access to, your family history, genetics, biology, how much money you make, where you live. Not in terms of what kind of house, but is it in an industrial area? Is there fresh air? Is there green space, etc.? What kind of environment? What is your access to medical care? Where on the globe do you live? That makes a huge difference. What kinds of jobs you have? How much money do you make? What is your level of education? All of these things fall under this category of determination of health. And they influence people's ability to live healthy lives. In fact, if you look at the statistics, you'll see that they're very different depending on where in the world you live and the environment, etc. So what I want you to focus on now are what are the choices you are making every day that influence your health, one way or the other. You make tons of choices every day that you do. For class next time, what I want you to bring with you is to brainstorm what you think are the 5 hot factors that influence health. Write those down, bring those with you. And then I also want you to find definitions for the words on your screen. Mortality, disease prevention, health-related quality of life, healthy life expectancy, risk behaviors, health disparities, disease prevention, health promotion, chronic disease, and you've left out one, but it's on your screen. See you then.